Alright everybody, welcome back to our next video. Today we're continuing on our rebuild of the Crossroads RP server. We're going to keep moving forward, trying to get these scripts installed. Now again, this is a rebuild, it's not a full build. We're just basically going back and getting new versions of all the scripts. That way we can update everything and make it more ready to run. And we've already done a lot of our beta testing. I'm still making some changes. You'll see some extra stuff here and there in the server. As we move along, I will add those on at the end as I'm still kind of developing some new ideas and directions to go. If you guys have been hanging out with our videos, you haven't already done so, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and leave us some comments down below. If you do need help, please feel free to do all of that, and then get into my Discord server for Reckless Development, where you will open a ticket and I will do my damnedest to help you with any situation you have to get done. That's our main goal, to try and help as many people as we can. Try to set these videos up as no edits. That way you guys can see how it runs. I don't try to hide if I screw up. If I screw up some stuff, I screw up some stuff. We go back, we fix it, we see what we did wrong. That's basically how it is. A lot of these scripts I've already installed them, so I'm not going to be doing a lot of the basic configs. That'll be a lot of copy and paste just to save me a lot of trouble. This one here, other than the let's see, other than it does have a FiveManage key that you have to get for they replaced that from the webhooks. Other than that, I can probably do most of the coding in just a few minutes on this thing, and I'll probably do that just because there's not much to it. So just because it's how it is. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys what you need to do. Now I am installing all of the CFGs, doing all the coding and all that stuff. I'm doing all the CFG stuff, making sure everything runs, just so I can test everything at some point. And I'm doing all of the SQLs for the same reason. Not that I'm going to use this database, but that I want to be able to test it correctly. So with that being said, we're going to keep moving forward. And again, guys, if you haven't done all those things for me, go ahead and do it, because we're trying to get as many new sponsors with scripts and work with new developers as we can. And those are the things that help us get to have that opportunity. So let's just keep moving forward. Now, this is the Quasar Smarphone Pro. If you guys haven't taken a look at it, please head over to Quasar Scripts and look at their lineup of scripts. They're not too bad. They don't always have the best customer service, I'll admit that. I've had some issues with that. Here is the Smarphone Pro. It basically is a mimic of both Android and Apple, in my opinion. So it does leave the ability for you guys to do quite a bit of custom coding on it, make your own stuff, make your own apps. A lot of stuff you can and can't, you can do on it. That does help out. And it does work with crypto, so we're replacing the smartphone, the original QB phone. It'll still allow you to break down those crypto sticks. That was an issue I had with another version, and I'd mentioned it to them, and now it seems like they've integrated it, so that's a good thing. So what we're going to do now, again, I've already done one of the things. I've already moved in the phone props. What I do in my server, you guys can do whatever you want, is I have a scripts folder that's insured. That way everything in here runs, okay? So that way I don't have all that crap on my server CFG. I have a folder in there that's bracketed, that's for comms. Inside of that one is where my phone goes, okay? And if I have radios or anything dealing with communication, that's where it goes. Sometimes I even throw my boombox in there, my car radio, just so all that kind of stuff's in one spot. But what we're going to do is we've got to do this and all of its dependents. So props are in. This is the phone. The biggest thing here is, again, getting your SQL in. So you want to grab that SQL out of that folder and install it into your database. I've already done it. As you guys know, I'm using having to use Heidi SQL on this particular panel that I'm using to rebuild on. I don't like Heidi. I think it's garbage. It's just a pain in the ass to use. But we don't have the option right now of using PHP My Admin, so I'm going to just deal with what I've got. There's another one you can use. I can't think of the name of it. Some people say it's better. That's what we're using at the moment, and we're just going to suck it up, buttercup, and get through this. Because, again, we're not keeping this. We're just going to transfer the main files over to our VPS and just swap out that build. I was going to do the build on the server, but, again, I wanted to show you guys how you do a build like this, but I don't want to leak my IP. This IP, I don't give two flying farts If you get it, you get it. If you get the freaking key off of it, I don't care, because at some point in the next week, it's going to go bye-bye. It'll be gone. It's done. So I don't really care. I'm going to pull these scripts, the entire build, onto my VPS, pull the old build out, slide this one in, restart the server, and we're done. Pretty much all I'm going to do is swap out a resource folder. So everything from here south is going to get put in. That's basically what we're doing. All right, so with all that set aside, what we're going to do is I've already put, like I said, I've already put in the SQL. You guys don't know what to do with those, you just go to this one. That's the one you just, if you're using PHP My Admin, or you're on a panel server using My Admin, you'll just import that. Or you can open it up and copy and paste it into the SQL page. Whatever you do, that's how you do it. If you have problems with that, again, go to my Reckless Development Discord, create a ticket, and I'll walk you through inserting this database if you have problems with that kind of stuff. I'll show you how to do it. It's not that difficult, but I don't have a problem doing that because I had to pay people when I started to help me. I'm trying to keep people from doing that. As long as I'm not doing your coding for you, I will help you. Hope that makes sense. Now, let's get after this, because we're not going to make this a really, really long video, and we're already 7 minutes in. I'm going to show you how quick it is to install the Quasar Smarphone Pro without having to get help. They actually help the situation themselves too. I'll have to give them that. Images. Here's our images. So all we're going to do is we're going to go back up here and find our QB. We're going to drop this down, and we're going to go down to our inventory. We're going to go to HTML, images. Now, it's not going to open them all up. Why? Because there's so damn many of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to shift, grab them all, drag them, drop them in. Now, again, if you're on a VPS, copy and paste, drag and drop, I don't care. I usually say if you're on a VPS, you will copy and paste as opposed to keep your scripts and all the parts that came with it. Okay, we're going to do this because it's got a few items it's going to try to overwrite. We're going to go along with that. Now, that's done. Now, the only thing we need to do is remember, okay, we've got images. Well, where's the freaking items, right? That's always the thing. So I don't even know if they even give you that damn list anymore. Let's see. Let's see here. Open. You don't really need it because all you need is the damn phone, to be honest. Let's see what's on here. Pro, no, it's memory. We're going to go here. Let me see what's on their installations thing. I've already downloaded all the dependencies, and I'll show you that too. I just wanted to see if they even included inventory items, QB inventory. I guess they did. Okay. So when you go to their this is when you click in their help, this is where you go to, and then you'll go down to, they actually have the inventory items. Okay, so we're using QB. We're just going to copy that. I didn't know if they just took it out and figured, you know, you could do it on your own. To be honest, you don't need it because everybody's got phone, but it just gives you the extra things like the power bank, the dongle, a white phone, green phone, yellow phone, that kind of thing. But again, that's up to you guys. Now, all you got to do now is we're going to close up QB inventory, and we're going to go back up to core, and we're going to go to shared. We're going to go to items. Now, the problem with this one is what sucks. See how it did that? It transferred it. Now, problem is, this is why I don't like this version. I prefer the other version to do this kind of stuff with. That's why I like WinSCP. But for this one, really quick, since we're not trying to make a big long video, we're going to do something really fast. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go back to my files, TX data, QB, resources, QB, core, shared, items. Okay, the reason I don't want to do all that crap right now. So I'm just going to go right below all of this, and I've added some new items you guys might see, but that's for something else we're working on wheel boots. So this one is Quasar Smarphone Pro. Okay, we'll drop those in. Okay, make sure they're all lined up, or my OCD will go crazy. Try to keep it as lined up as much as possible. Once we get into some of the bigger scripts, like with the food and crap, there's so many items and they all go to the left. I can't fix them all, so I just put those at the bottom so they don't fuck with my OCD as much. items are in. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, since the items are in, all we're going to do is go into our smartphone config Lua. Okay. All right. Now, all we're going to do is go down and you can do your coding on this thing. Most of this stuff is going to grab on its own. See how it's got, you put what you need. And you can do, it's going to do dependency check for you. It's going to do a dependency for billing. Now you can hard code them. Let's see if I hard coded my VPS. I think I did. If I did, I'll do it on this one. Don't remember if I had to. Let's check it out. See, just for shakes and giggles, just to make sure that I keep it all the same. Okay, let me look. Script. And just a moment. It won't take me but a second. It takes longer to get to it than it does to look. Swear to God. I swear stuff gets longer and longer. It's even longer to get to it now than it was. Let's see, did I hard code these beaches? Which ones did I hard coded the billing? So we're going to change this one here to okay. All right, and then because I always look because you never know what you might have had problems out of. Let's see. So going down to houses, it's gonna look for the dependency. I don't have Quasar housing. I've got QB housing, so that's fine. I actually have loaf too. Let's see. And the rest of it, I think is pretty much normal. So you don't have to change a lot of this stuff. Let's see. You got the prefix. So if you want to use a specific prefix, you can. Number of digits after prefix. It's got it as 6. Let's see. I can't really change a lot of this because it's going to fuck with my database. That's why I'm looking at it. Most of this stuff you don't even have to change. You can if you want to add or take away. Only thing if you do is you get down here to the bottom. You've got some stuff you need to look at. Like, let's see. If you want to use chargers, here they are. These are your apps, how much battery power they take. So if you don't want it to use battery power, I guess you can turn it off. I've messed with some of that a little bit. Here's your chargers built into the city. And phone booth. Reset your password. So there's an NPC that helps you reset your password if you forget it. Phone plans, so you can set that up if you want to at some point. Weasel, build jobs. I mean, a lot of this stuff you don't really got to mess with very much in the beginning. You can as you go along. You can kind of tweak it a little bit. So we're using JG Advanced Garages. So we're going to do this. Copy. I think I left it as auto, maybe. I think it picks it up. No, I left it as auto. It's fine. And then keys, you can leave it the same. We use QB keys. As long as the one you're using is above anything crazy, you're good. Let's see. If you have problems, you can always, especially when you get a car from the valet, you can always change that stuff. Uber, most of this stuff you're good. Only thing I do edit is, where's it at? There is a shop built into this sucker where you can buy guns. I just gotta find it it's 11:33. Let me skip this one down. 11. There we go. So we're going to leave on 1 and 6. The rest of them I tab them out for now. I need to swap them out for something less crazy, like a sticky bomb. Okay, so there's that. That's all we're really going to do to it, guys. You don't have to do a lot of coding on it anymore. Only thing you have to do is, I think it's in here. Where is it at? No, it's not here. It's in the client, I bet. Let's see, custom. One of these. I bet I have to go look. Still have that open. I do. You have to put the token in there. It goes in server, custom, webhooks. Okay. So you'll go to server, custom, webhooks, webhooks Lua, and you'll have your webhooks, and then you'll also have your 5 managed webhook, which that's not the right one. What I'm going to do really quick is I will show you guys. Let me pull up mine. Only thing I won't show you is my my 5 managed one. So it's server, custom, webhook. Open it on my server so I can pull it off. All right, so I'm going to copy all of this. Copy this. These are my webhooks from the Discord. Now what I'm going to do is pull this off page, guys. I don't want nobody to see my token. So I'm going to copy my token from FiveManage and put it in there. Hold on. Let's see. All right, save that. I can just close it from this screen over there. Okay, so there's all of that. All I have to do now is back out all the way out to smartphone. And then I'm going to drag smartphone in. So I need to go back to comms. I'm going to put this here. Okay, now what I'm also going to do is I'm going to go to resources and I'm going to create a directory while that's doing its thing. And I'm going to call it dependency. So use depend, DEP, because that's too long for it to show up right half the time. So we'll do that, because the reason being is while this is working its way down, I'm going to get everything else ready. So in my downloads, you open up another folder. Downloads. Cover this up for a second. We've got all this stuff to go in here. All right, so Xsound can be opened. Close. Xsound. Oxlib. Hacking. A lot of this stuff you're not going to have to do anything to. Hacking main. Now I got to wait for this to finish copying. And I'll tell you what I'll do to save on time. Just let me minimize my big server. I will pause recording and we'll come back after these 500 items have copied. Give me just a second. All right, everybody, we're back. Got that stupid transfer finally over with. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to open up the dependencies folder and drag the hacking in. Come on now, do your thing. Is it doing it or is it freaking queued up? Come on now. That's why I don't like panel servers, guys. They're great for developing and getting your server ready, but they're freaking notorious for not being reliable. Let's do this. They're cute. Let's just do this. Let's stop it. I'm going to refresh my server pool. Okay, and then we're going to grab this. See if we can get it to do its thing or not. I may have to reconnect. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to. Stop. Let's just cancel it. And if this doesn't stop, I'm probably going to grab one SCP. Give it a second to connect. Let's make sure we're not getting connection issues either. Oh, that could be the reason. Let's check it. Make sure there ain't nothing going on. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Hold on, guys. We'll be right back. All right, let's get this thing finished before something else stupid happens. All right, we got the hacking again. And Oxlib is going to go. I had to switch to another one because it seemed like I was having issues and finally got this one to connect. So we're going to try to get this loaded in for you guys before we have another hiccup. Oxlib usually takes a minute. Okay, hang on just a second. I'll be back with the connections done and transfers over. All right, Oxlib's in. Now we're going to do X sound. It's going to go in with this one as well. I think I have to change the name though. No. We've done videos on installing these things before. I don't think we're going to have any bit of a different issue at this point. As long as everything's running good, we're going to do a restart. If I don't see an error, we should be good to go at that point. If you guys want to see it running, we'll do videos on that at some point. But you can look at the last video that I had. This is just a rebuild video. I'm not doing a full-on like install, showing you guys how everything works. Let's see if the server is going to allow me to do what I want to do. Just a second. Let me get it pulled up here. All right, so let's take a look and see that we've got everything the way we want it. I'm going to pull up my TX admin if it's going to agree. I'm going to try to do this really freaking fast because of the fact that for some reason this stupid panel server is not going to agree with me. We may end up changing the format of this rebuild. We may do it as a run through rebuild where I'll show you guys how to do one, but not do it all the scripts one by one like this. We may do one long rebuild for a lot of it and maybe just break this down into like 2 or 3 little videos or longer videos instead of just this, because apparently this panel servers are going to shit as they usually do, and it's making a what should be a quick little video into a hour-long paused up continuous thing, which is what I like to do. So again, let's just jump over here. This is the TX admin. Of course, I've got a bunch of crap because they just had a bunch of connection errors. So I'm going to just restart it. And wait a minute before I can do that. Hold up. Wait a minute. I got to get it. Come on. I have to ensure something. So here's our script. Here's our module. So what I'm going to do is go above this one because I'm going to get an error and ensure that dependency folder. Okay. And I'll go back to my console. And I should get some errors here somewhere. Say failed to load script. That's the other one. Why is it not loading that one? Oh, that's one, delete the vehicles. I want to check that as well really quick. I'm looking for one that didn't start. I guess they all did. They'll probably have errors like hell though. That's because I put Oxlib in there in the right place. Okay, so let's restart it again. Then I want to check my delete vehicle script and make sure that it's set up correctly. It should be. It's probably looking for that script. It's probably what it is. So make sure it's looking right. Yeah, it's just looking for that script. That's what's going on here. That's why it's looking for it. This is my advanced parking script. It helps with JG garages. It gives me stationary cars, persistent cars. So that's what that is. It's looking for it. I've already coded it into the script as I'm going through. That way I don't have to go back and rethink it later. I also have to do it on this one, I believe. Let's see. Possibly. Because it does have the, now that I'm thinking about it, it does have a rental script. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to code in a dependency really quick. So what I have to do for this script is I have to put in the shared underscore script for the advanced parking fix delete vehicle Lua. So I'm going to close that. And what I'm going to do is go to my comms and we're going to Smarphone Pro. Here's its FX manifest. We're going to open it. It should do Visual Studio. Yep. Okay. So here's our shared scripts. We're not going to put it in that one. We're going to go one below. Usually just do like that right there. And we're going to drop that in there. And I'm going to save that. And what that's going to do is once I load this particular script onto the server, it will know that it needs to work with this at some point for something. So it'll work around this problem. Okay. All right. So that's taking care of that. That's got it all in. I don't have any consistent error. I've got something here. I don't know what that is. I'll have to see what happens when we load it up. That's probably what it is. It's trying to load. It was probably trying to load something it didn't have yet. So let's restart it again. Now I'm gonna get the same little thing too, where it's gonna say it tried to load a asset and couldn't. Because right here you're gonna see smartphone's gonna say the same thing. There we go. So we're good to go. It's all in. Now what we can do is once we get everything else loaded in, we can then go in. Right now, is if we go in, we're going to have some errors because we're missing some parts that it's going to need. It's going to be looking for garages. It's going to be looking for all that kind of stuff that we don't currently have. That's why we're getting these script errors, is because I don't have the garage script in yet. It's looking for JG Advanced Garages, and I don't have it in yet. So that's going to cause it to have a script error. So that's why we don't have any actual script errors that are causing us issues. It's just it can't load what it's looking for in order for it to work correctly. So as of right now, everything is going the way we want it to go. And again, we may make an adjustment to how we're doing this with the way that this panel server is not really agreeing with us. So we'll have to see how that goes. But I am going to keep moving forward. The next video will be just continuing on moving through the rest of the stuff we pulled out of QB, which will be the phone. We got the phone. We got the garage to go next. What else? We've done the bank. We're going to do the police and the ambulance jobs. Once all that stuff is done and those removed scripts are replaced, then we'll start working on expanding out. But I think what we'll end up doing, we may just do this as a big consent video and break it up into like 4 editions and just do it as a full-on rebuild instead of a complete tutorial per script, so or per like batch, like with okay. If you guys will hang out with me this long, I thank you for hanging out. Go ahead, if you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, leave us some comments down below. If you need help, please feel free to jump into the Reckless Development Discord, create a ticket. I will check to see, if you guys are asking me for some assistance, please do me the favor of like, comment, subscribe on all the videos to help me build the channel. And let's just keep this thing moving along. If you want any type of different content too, as well as like seeing some RP in the server, the messing around while we're doing development, I can do some of that too. Just let me know. But again, guys, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys on our next addition to this rebuild series.